What's going on? It's Ed here from Geek, and I am with Luke from Detailers CRM. What's up, Luke?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. Yourself?
Good, thank you.
Good.
Beautiful day.
Absolutely. So I know Luke's father, Lane, who owns a couple of marketing businesses. His father's actually been on our channel before, but Luke comes from the detailing world, the auto detailing world. And if you watch this channel, you know we have lots of detailing customers. So I wanted to get Luke on to talk about his background in the space, about what he's done, and a new product that he's got, which is called Detailers CRM, which is a CRM and marketing automation platform specifically for the auto detailing niche. So, Luke, why don't you kick off and just give us a little bit about your background, who you are, how you got into the detailing space. Just kind of walk us through so we can kind of set the frame for how you got into Detailer CRM.
For sure. Thank you, Ed. I got my start in auto detailing when I was in high school. Really was just kind of a side gig for me. I didn't want to go work for somebody and make $10 an hour. So my dad offered me, to do a little bit of work for him. And I did that over the years too, doing some video editing and other things for his business. But I started the auto detailing business. I started it in my garage. I had about a $250, maybe $300 budget for my parents to, hey, go to Home Depot, get a couple things, see what you can do, and go from there. So that was my, starting capital, and that proves right there you can start a detailing business with nothing, let alone $500. So there's no excuses to not, do it if you're on the fence about starting a business in the detailing niche. But got my start, ended up doing just some neighbors' cars and just kind of got the ball rolling. Thankfully, I had a father who knew everything about, making yourself a brand online and starting a Google My Business listing and having a really kick-ass website, optimizing social media platforms. So I was putting in hours and hours and hours every day to really get those channels producing traffic for me. And that paid dividends on the long term. So starting to get some customers coming in. I was doing, the above and beyond work to just get people to come back and give me referrals. And eventually I went to a mobile model, and I was using my mom's car to go out to jobs. So I was still in high school doing this, and I'm playing hockey all the while. So I actually moved up here to North Carolina, where I started this business, from Florida, where I lived my whole life, because I was playing hockey and I made the jump to play junior hockey. So I was balancing all of that at once. I really did not have much of a social life outside of school and stuff. So eventually, though, the business was doing well. I was making pretty good money, especially for being 18 years old at the time. And I had to go and play. I wanted to keep playing junior hockey, but I didn't want to stay here anymore. So I went and played up in Philly, and then I eventually played in Richmond. And while I moved, when I moved up to Philly, I still did the business. I made a new location up in Philly near I was living. And I just did a couple side jobs here and there. I never got super big or anything there. And then I ended up doing the same thing in Richmond. But when I came back from that summer, I really wanted to take the business seriously. I was done with junior hockey, not 100% sure where school was going to be going for me for college and all that. And pretty spontaneously, I decided to make this decision to go to commit and play hockey, Division I hockey at the University of Delaware. And I committed to go do that. And that summer, right before college, I really focused on growing the business as much as I could. And things took off pretty quickly for me. I had a van. I had 4 employees at that point, 2 mobile units going out every single day, trying to stay booked out as long as possible. Had guys coming in, guys coming out, employees wise. So it was a hassle, and it was a lot of work every day just to manage all of that. And I very quickly got to the point where I was not able to handle all the leads coming in, which is a good problem to have because it's better than the alternative. But I was literally watching money go down the drain, especially as I was paying for ads for these leads to come in, and they were just going right down the drain. So that's just kind of the quick backstory. From there, I was able to start this platform, Detailer CRM, build it out, and it just tremendously changed my business. And did everything on autopilot for me. I was starting to capitalize and capture leads that I wasn't able to before. And I started building a really solid maintenance detailing business. And the maintenance detailing is huge. And it's because I'm taking a new client who's maybe going to spend $200, $300, maybe $400 with me. And then instead of them, never coming back and me always depending on new leads and new leads and new leads, I was able to keep these people coming back for $75 a week, or, $100 every 2 weeks, or $150 every month, to me, having to do a 30-minute to an hour job. The car was cleaner. It was already basically detailed, and I just had to do some dusting, a quick wash, and call it a day. And that's where I started to really build traction and get recurring revenue, a significant amount of it, every single month. I had a couple of big contracts with real estates and construction and some other companies. And at that point, when I was going off to college, and I started to downsize my company a little bit, just trying to make as much money as I could during the summer going up to college to save. I started exploring the possibility of selling my business. And I was able to do that because I had a full database of every single client that had come through my business. And there was thousands and thousands and thousands of clients. And I had a very significant amount of monthly recurring revenue that another company could come in and basically pick up pretty much right away. So then I started exploring the idea of selling my business, and I was able to, and I sold my business to Get Spiffy, which is a corporate multi-state car care and fleet management company. And they're actually, I think they're based here in Raleigh. So that was awesome, super cool. But yeah, that's pretty much the backstory on the detailing business. So in total, I think I ran Mobile Detail Doctor for about 5 years before I sold it.
Very cool. Congratulations. I think you've achieved what most people dream about in the space, starting from a couple $100 in your parents' garage, using your mom's car, to building it up, automating a good piece of it, and then being able to offload it. So pretty awesome. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about Detailer CRM. How did, I know you'd mentioned you built all this out to really use yourself and help automate your business. When did you have that aha moment? Like, hey, I think the market could actually use this, and this could be a product that I offer to the detailing space.
It was about, I would say, 2 or 3 weeks after I sold the business. I just realized, like, what am I going to, first of all, I'm thinking, what am I going to do next? I'm in college right now. Still, I'm a business student. Hopefully I don't have to use my degree. It's kind of a backup option for me. I certainly will if I need to, but I was kind of thinking, what is my next business going to be, first of all? Second of all, when I had that aha moment, it was like, why don't I sell the platform that literally allowed me to scale my business, grow it, sell it, and all the while just be super successful on lead management, capturing them and generating them. Because there's really no other, system, software, or platform in this space that really does that well. There's some amazing shop management softwares. I reference them all the time publicly in the different, Facebook groups that I'm in. Your Able is a great one. OrbisX is another great one. They both do amazing things, but I didn't really see something like Detailer CRM, which is strictly focusing on not only lead management, like I just said, but automating all of it. Because the biggest thing is a lot of these detailing businesses are solo guys, or maybe they're really small business, which is what I was too. And your job can quickly become, you're getting in that stage of a solo detailer where you're working all day and you're doing the labor, and you have a couple hours every day to do client management, or, reaching out to new and old clients coming in. And then you might grow a little bit and you might be booked out all the time, and maybe you hire a helper or a couple employees, and next thing you know, your job, it really does become all about sales. And that's the stage I was in. I was in college running the business for the first year. And while I was balancing college classes and college athletics, which was full time in and of itself, I was somehow trying to also spend 6 to 8 hours at the least on the phone every day, just calling this person, calling that person, answering this call, answering this text, answering this Facebook message. And we were getting, I would say, between all the different platforms for just new clients alone, it was 10 to 20 people a day at least. And that did not count for me following up with people who have, we did their cars 30 days ago, 60 days ago, 90 days ago, just randomly doing discounts and stuff like that. And it's a whirlwind. And it's what matters, though, if you really want to produce as much business and appointments as you can off of the least amount of ad spend, or just depending on new leads as much as you can.
Mm-hmm. It's wild. So I'm imagining, I remember I played college football, and I remember how much work college football was, and then class on top of it. And I barely went to class. So I can't imagine if you were going to class and being a good student and playing athletic.
Definitely suffered.
Oh my gosh.
It was not easy.
Yeah. So I'm imagining you probably weren't in a fraternity as well.
No, thankfully my hockey team was a fraternity.
Gotcha.
I've moved back home, and I'm actually transferring to the University of Utah to go be out there with my brother and play hockey there. But yeah, I mean, just to be totally frank with you, my classes became probably the third on my priority list, which was not good.
Right.
It was hockey first, and then my business, and then classes. Which if I could go back, I would have redone that, because I've been building back since then from my GPA standpoint. But
Sure.
yeah, I mean, it was extremely tough, and I quickly realized if I did not build out the platform that I did, there was no way I was going to be able to keep running the business, because I'm doing all that, and then I'm also managing 4 employees at the time and 2 units going out, and that's a whole nother job in and of itself. Quality control, making sure they're showing up on time. There was days where one of my guys would show up 30 minutes late to work, or wouldn't show up at all, and then we were scrambling to figure out what we're going to do that day. Or, there was just so many variables on the day-to-day that would always make things interesting, to say the least. So it was a lot to handle. But when I was able to automate the sales part of my job, and the follow-up, and it did it, not only is it automating it, but it's doing it better than I ever could. And that's the important thing. I was able to spend other time in leverage my time in other areas of the business that were really important for me to start scaling and growing. But the way that Detailer CRM allowed me to build a maintenance detailing funnel, which is what I'm really going to call it, is truly incredible, because there is a huge need in the detailing industry for people want their cars to not only look good, but they want them to look good all the time. But it's expensive to get detailing done, and especially if you're charging what you should and what you're worth. It's not cheap, and no one is going to come back and spend hundreds of dollars every couple months. So when you can get people on a maintenance detailing plan for a fraction of that cost, it's more profitable for you, because the work is basically already done by the time you show up. And if it's not, you can upcharge the client. But you're getting that recurring revenue coming in, and you get, you have 5 clients, and then you have 10 clients, and then you have 15, then you have 20. And your maintenance clients are going to be your best ones too. They're going to be the ones who end up getting a ceramic coating from you, or get paint correction done from you. They'll be the ones who go tell everyone in their neighborhood how their car is always looking, perfect every month. So it's an amazing system to definitely leverage for anyone who's serious about growing their auto detailing business.
Awesome. All right. You get me excited about it. Show me, why don't you share your screen and kind of walk us through and give us a demo of the platform, what it looks like, how it works, all that good stuff.
Absolutely. Let me try to figure this out real quick. All right. Let me know if you can see me in Detailer CRM here.
We're good.
Awesome. All right. So I'm going to take you to the dashboard first. This is kind of where just your general analytics are going to be. Just to quickly go over what it is, you got your opportunities here. This is going to be every lead inside of your sales funnels, and you can choose different pipelines. I really have, for Detailer CRM, I have 2 default pipelines set up. I have a new leads pipeline, and then I have a returning clients pipeline. And it's pretty self-explanatory. So you're going to be able to see the value of those leads up there. You can see the conversion rates. You're going to see what stages these leads are in, and you can visualize really the sales funnel. I do not have Twilio set up on our demo account here, but when you sign up for Detailer CRM, we're going to set you up with a Twilio account and an external business phone number, and that's going to actually start to pull in all the call tracking and call reporting. So you'll be able to see, who's calling you, who's texting you, and you're going to be able to also see what manual actions get triggered for you to do here. You have tasks, kind of like a to-do list as well in the dashboard. So in terms of the call tracking, the SMS, the texting, the emailing, pulling in Facebook messages, pulling in Instagram DMs, pulling in Google My Business messages. All those will get pulled in directly into the conversations function.
No way. So you literally one dashboard and it'll pull all that in, so you don't have to log into one location to get it all.
Exactly. And that's the beautiful, beautiful thing about Detailer CRM is you have one hub for all these platforms to pull in all this data and all these messages from. Otherwise, like you said, you're going to have a tab open in your computer for Facebook, Instagram. You'll have your phone for, your texts and your calls, and then maybe an email app open too on top of that. Detailer CRM also has a chat widget, which we can embed directly on your website. It's like a live chat widget. And it'll also pull that right in here too. Someone interacts with that chat widget. You can customize the opening message, whatever you want. They'll automatically be interacting with you inside of this little dashboard here. Another beautiful thing that I have built out inside of Detailer CRM is templates using the sales system that I used for my business. So I essentially had like a sales script that I built over the years, and then I eventually implemented it into this system. I've tried to label it in the best way I could think, but there's really just steps on how to do this. So when someone initially comes in from whatever channel we do, typically it would be through a web form submission on my website. We'll do a text message, and I can quickly load up a text message, and I'll show you this in a second. But thank you, to help us determine the right services for your vehicle. Tell us a little bit about it, yada, yada, yada. And then depending on what they answered, hey, I want an exterior detail, I want interior, I want both, I want a boat detail, RV, whatever. We would, let's say they wanted an exterior job. So I'll go here, to determine pricing. We need an idea of what your condition is in. This is how I always priced my services. I did not give prices right off the bat. I wanted to know truly, I had an idea of what my starting prices were going to be for each vehicle type and for each service. But I wanted to know, what is this car going to look like when I show up? Because just over the years, I learned you give someone a price over the phone, that's the price you're going to expect when you show up. If you have to suddenly tell them that it's going to be 50 to $100 more, or even more than that, because of the condition it's in, it's going to be really, really hard to justify that. So I would have, I have questions already built out here for interior, exterior, boat, RV. And that's going to allow guys to really get an idea of what their client's car is truly going to look like when they get there. It's hard to lie about questions like that. Whereas you get the typical customer saying, oh, my car's not that bad. And you show up and it really can be. So I'll show you the functionality of this though. If we go into a conversation here, and I don't have it. Let's create a new message. I'll go to myself. And we can select a template here. So we'll go with the first one, that initial opening. I can send myself a text and pull my phone out here. Should get it right here. There it is. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry, the light's pretty bright.
Yep, I got you.
We go in here and we can see it pulls in that data right away. Give it a second to load. So now we can go in here. I can send emails right in here. Here's the SMS functionality, and here's
Let me
the
ask you a question. If you decide to call that number that texted you, does that load into that area as well? So there's a reference point that, like, yes, Luke texted, or Luke was a lead, we texted, then he called in. Does that get housed in that conversation part as well?
Yep. Every form and every every channel of communication possible will all get pulled into one contact.
Nice.
Including calling. So we actually, like I said, we have call reporting. So we do record calls. You can turn that on and off. If you don't want your customers' calls being recorded, you don't have to have that. But I always had it turned on.
Real quick, and I know this for the hard way. Each state requires. So I'm just making a general YouTube warning. You have to look at your state's laws. Some laws are one-party state consent. Some are two-party consent states. So Luke and I are not telling you to record calls. We're telling you to figure out what your state's laws are. That's it.
Absolutely. Thank you for including that.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I did have a message that would, and if you do need to have compliance laws for that, you can broadcast a message to your client saying this call may be recorded for, quality and training purposes, whatever. And you can let them know too, if you want, but I found that functionality extremely, extremely useful. Again, I was talking to dozens of people every day. And if I had someone call me with a specific question, or I needed to remember, someone's state of their car or certain things, it was really useful. So anyways, if we come in here and we have some other things we can do inside of a contact, if I actually click on that contact, we can see, what's happening with this contact in the software. What campaigns, marketing campaigns are they in? What pipelines are they in? If you want to, someone is for some reason not having it with you and they do not want to get messaged by your business anymore, you can click here and just boom, do not disturb, and they won't get reached out to automatically whatsoever anymore unless you do it yourself manually. So that's pretty cool. We can see what tags we have for them, and just some other random things. So now the calendars functionality, there isn't a calendar and booking system in here. I don't have any set up in the demo account here, but you would essentially set up a calendar. You can integrate it with your Google Calendar. So if you have personal time and personal events you want to get pulled in and you don't want to get booked for appointments, you can do that here. You can add your services, your packages, and all that inside of here as well. Now, if we go to the opportunities, this is where that dashboard is hooking up into is our opportunity pipeline.
I throw one question there. So when you said packages, so you've got a really good handle on your cost of goods sold and how much this work actually it costs you to perform it. And part of that is knowing how much time it takes you to do each type of a service. Do you have some functionality built in there, like a regular detail is going to be 2 hours, but if we're doing a ceramic coating, it's going to be 3 hours, or a paint correction, it's going to be whatever. Do you have the ability in there to change the time allotted based on the services that people are asking for?
Yes, you do. And again, that usually is going to be variable. Like you said, every job is going to be a little bit different. So you can preset, time blockages for different services in there. But if you need to go in and change that on a appointment to appointment basis, you absolutely can do that as well.
Awesome.
Yeah. Do you have any other questions about the booking system at all?
Nope.
Okay. And I know this might be another one, is there is an ability to embed the booking system onto your website. So if you have a website already set up and you want to get that booking form right on your website, it's super clean. It's simple. It's quick. That way your customers don't get distracted. It's pick a time, pick a date, pick the service, give me your info, boom, you're booked in. So we try to keep it simple with the booking. Now for the opportunity pipeline, this is just basically a visual place for you to see every lead involved in your business that is active in your sales funnels. By default, when a new lead comes in, they're going to come into the new lead stage. And let's say we talk to Jane Smith on the phone, and Jane Smith, they were a typical objection would be, hey, I'm ready to do this. I just need to talk to my husband, or I need to talk to my wife and make sure, when are we going to do this? What's going to work for the family? So we say, okay, they had an objection. We're going to, make sure we try to get back to them, and we'll drag them to that hot lead stage. And then maybe, Jane Smith calls us back the next day and gives us a time and a date, and boom, we can drag them right over here. So this is a great way for you to visualize your what's going on with every client in your business. You can do some pretty cool things inside of here. You can add the value of a lead, and that will kind of work into that dashboard functionality of seeing the value of all the leads in your pipeline. So let's say Jane Smith wanted that interior detail, we're going to charge $250 for it. And we can put that in there. So now if I drag that over to the I might have to refresh the page here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Sorry, 1 second.
Okay.
If I drag this over to the one section, that meaning they not only confirmed an appointment with us, but we've now won the service. We've got the client totally done. I can come over here to that dashboard, and then we can see our conversion rate should go up here. Well, maybe not, but the pipeline value is going to go up, and you can see it's just everything's going to get reflected there. So this in and of itself is extremely, extremely valuable. When this starts to populate with a lot of your clients, you're going to be able to see, okay, here's my new leads, here's my hot leads. So I need to call back all these people today. Let's get them booked in first and foremost.
You talk about hot leads. One of the issues we work with a lot of detailers. A lot of them are solo guys. One of the issues that they have is they're busy on a job, working the job, actually detailing. They get leads in and they may miss the phone call, which for me kills me because it's a waste of money spending their call.
Oh
What
yeah.
was your take on that? Like, how did you kind of fix that issue?
Yeah, so there is an incredible function because that is by far the biggest money waster, I would say, when you're running ads, especially, is the missed calls.
Yep.
And there is a function inside of Detailers CRM called a missed call text back. So you can have it on or off, and you can customize the message. But let's say Jane Smith is the new client, and we've never heard from them before. They found your business on Google by looking up car detailing near me. They found you. They go to your website. Or maybe they call you directly. Now you don't get that call because you're, like you said, you're out detailing, and that happened to me all the time. We can go in and customize a message in here, and we could say, "Hi, this is Luke's Auto Detailing. I saw that we missed your call. How can I help? What services are you looking for? What vehicle do you have?" And we can test this out to make sure it works. But this functionality is amazing because it'll send that missed call text in about 30 seconds to a minute. So they don't think that it's just a robot that automatically just texted them back. But I cannot tell you how many times I'd miss a call. Somebody would text me back because it's within a quick enough time frame before someone generally is going to go and find another business to call.
Right.
Um, and they're going to, they'll text you back real quick. And if you're on a detail, you get a notification, and you're like, "Hey, let's get this person, try to get them booked in, at least start the sales process." You don't have to finish it while you're out working, and you're likely not going to. But at least getting that conversation started will, in a lot of cases, prevent that client from maybe reaching out to other businesses. But it'll definitely at least give you a chance, whereas you were going to have no chance because you've missed the call. Detailing clients are quick. They want things done quickly. They want it, tomorrow if possible.
Yep.
So if you miss out on that opportunity, you may never get it back. And that can be expensive, to say the
Yep.
least, if you're running ads.
Absolutely. Is there like in there it said, wait, can you slide back down real quick? It said,
Oh, yeah.
"Hi, this is," so it would be location name. Would that be like, "Hi, this is Luke," or would it be, what would you typically put there?
So look, we have custom values instead of Detailer CRM, which you'll see in the functionality of the different campaigns and the workflows when I go and show you those. But when I onboard a new client into Detailer CRM, we're going to put it on your business information.
Got it.
Now, where it says location name, that would be where it says friendly business name up here. I have it as a demo snapshot. So I would say, "Hi, this is Detailer CRM demo snapshot." But you could put we would put your business name up here. So
Okay.
Luke's Auto Detailing, or whatever. There's other really cool custom values too, though. I'll just give you a quick overview of them. There's a contact, so we can put people's first names, last names, email, phone number, address, anything like that. You can do appointment information. We have calendar information. There's just a lot of different custom values that are going to allow you to build templates for yourself, so that you're not having to type those things out every single time you want to send a
Yeah.
message.
I like that you said templates. One thing that I really like about this, and I'm going to be sending this out to all of our detailing clients, is that everything you had as templates within your business, you're actually including in the software.
Mhm.
I think is freaking awesome. So these guys don't need to recreate the wheel. It's like, "Hey, this worked really well for me. Use this. Start here. And if you want to customize it, you can customize it." But kind of walk through some of the funnels, some of the automations and kind of workflow templates that you'd built, so that they can get a little context as to what that might look like.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I'll do the emails first. And again, like you said, part of this, the platform is the platform itself. It's an amazing platform. But the other huge part of this software is that it's my sales system. So it is absolutely customizable, but this is the sales system that worked for my mobile detailing company over the course of 5 years of trying different things out. And the way that I brought someone in from the top of the funnel, new lead, all the way into a booked appointment, the different, language I would use with those clients to get, and I was very focused on professional presentation. And I think that's what allowed me my niche was the higher end detailing customers, the ones that were willing to spend $250 to $400 for a standard detailing package, with nicer cars usually, and funnily enough, usually in better condition, even though we were charging more. And I was able to do that through professional presentation and just the way I was communicating. They felt like they were talking to a professional company and a professional, at least salesperson or owner versus, I don't know, just the run of the mill detail company down the street that it doesn't appear to be super professional, if that makes sense.
Got it.
So inside, I got some emails here. I have ones for different holiday discounts. I got follow-up emails, monthly newsletters. These are just some random ones that I created over the years. I got a ceramic coating promotion, post-winter discount service, winter prep detailing promotion. I'll take you let's go into the ceramic coating promotion. We can go in and edit it here. And you can see there's a full email builder inside of this. Super easy to use, drag and drop. And I have pretty much a pre-built email here with different buttons to link out to your websites. You can see I used Urable. So I have links to Urable, and I need to go in and actually remove that link. I forgot I had that looked up or linked up there. But anyways, you can go in and again, you see those custom values of location name, address, email, phone number. We're going to put that information in there for you. So it'll say Luke's Auto Detailing, 123 Main Street, Luke's Auto Detailing at gmail.com, your phone number. So all these emails are pretty much pre-built. You would need to go in and put in your logo, which we can do for you when we onboard you. And you're going to be able to use all these really, really powerful emails. Now you can also go and create new emails. So we want to go in here, maybe create a new email. We can go, create one from an existing campaign. We can do a blank template, whatever we want to do there. Now, if we go into the workflows, this is my favorite part of the software right here. And this is where you're going to get the automation. Everything that's going to happen automatically for you is inside of the automation tab here. So we'll go into a follow-up workflow, and this would be for someone, they've bought a service from you, and now we want to get them into that returning client pipeline.
Yep.
So we're going to come in here, and we'll do a first-time client, a maintenance retargeting funnel to get them onto our maintenance detailing program. Alrighty. And so this is basically a mind map of different steps that the software is going to take and do for you automatically, and based on a certain trigger, which we can customize. So the trigger I've set up is once we've dragged that client to that one stage inside of that opportunities pipeline, it's going to trigger this workflow to start with that client. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to tag them. We're going to tag them as a client and as a newsletter so that they start getting our newsletter. We know that they've bought a service from us. We're going to remove any, booked lead, hot lead, missed call, stuff like that tags. We're going to assign them to a user. I don't have any users set up inside of this, obviously, but if you want to assign, if you have, let's say, a company that has multiple sales employees or multiple people using this software, you can assign, specific clients to specific users. So maybe you want one of your employees only handling, people that come in after you've gotten a detail like this. Now we're going to add them to the returning clients pipeline. We're going to send them an after service immediate SMS. So this is going to get triggered instantaneously. Contact first name. We want to thank you for your business again. It was a pleasure meeting you and working on your vehicle. If you have any questions on how to maintain it, protect it, or have other vehicles you want us to detail, let us know. We'll be in touch soon to remind you about getting a discounted maintenance wash.
Question on this one. When does, is there a time trigger? So after an appointment happens, or when does that get triggered there, just to get some context?
Yeah. So what you would want to do, if we set up the calendar and booking system for a business inside of here, if they decide they don't want to use it because they're using something else that they're comfortable with, that's totally fine. And this is the system we would use. But if someone did complete an appointment, then we could use that as our trigger. So as soon as the appointment ends, it could trigger this to go in and happen.
Awesome.
That's one way we can do it. So does that answer your question?
Yep.
Cool. And the other thing that, I might be a question is, let's say you don't use the booking system. If you don't want messages going out in the middle of the night, for instance, we have these set up to only send through specific times. So right now I have it set for 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. It won't send messages other than those times. That way you're not bothering your customers and you're also not getting messages back.
Got it.
Focus on doing what you need to do. So after that, after service immediate SMS, because again, that's happening instantaneously.
Yep.
It's going to wait about a half a minute, and then it's going to send a review SMS. This is where you're going to be able to start capitalizing on getting Google reviews, Facebook reviews, Yelp reviews, whatever you want to do. So this just asks them to leave us a review. Wait another 24 hours. Now we're going to send them kind of a follow-up email. This is, again, a review funnel email. It's going to thank them for their business. It's a nice little email. It's going to ask us to leave us a review. So let me just show you this too. So let's say you want to add a new step. Let's say you want to maybe add a second email for whatever reason. We can go in here and add a second email. And this is how you do that. These are all customizable, and you can use templates. So if we wanted to use a template of an email that's already been built, we can go ahead and use that right in here. Pretty cool.
Got it. And can you go back to that real quick where you clicked on the plus button?
Yeah, absolutely.
Add a step. And then I like how you do down here where you can basically set a task where there's a manual call. So like a true CRM, if you wanted to follow up with this person, like let's say it's a fleet detailing job, and you wanted to manually have like a B2B business sales process in there to follow up with a phone call with the fleet manager, you can have a phone call in there. Nice way to get that human touch and ask for referrals, ask for repeat business. I like that you can add that in there. There was also one in there about voicemails. Do you have something set up with voicemail drops?
Yeah, I do. And I'll go ahead and show you that real quick because that was the next thing I was going to get into. So we have actually two types of calls to go off of what you said. There is the manual call and there's manual SMS and all that. And that's going to be the power dialer function inside of Detailers CRM where you can load up, okay, here's who I need to manually call today. Here's who I need to manually text. And that's your power dialer. But there's an automatic call function too. And I want to show you that real quick. And this is really, really cool and powerful. So let me go into the new lead workflows to show you this. So let's say that someone submitted a form on our website. Again, that was the number one way that I still, even today, get leads through the business. So let's go to the call here. So this is pretty similar. A new lead submits a form. They're going to go through a couple different things, including notifications for ourselves that, hey, this person requested a quote, just so we have some, time urgency a little bit. I'm just going to send that initial SMS to them, letting them know that someone from the team is going to be getting in touch with them. Now it's going to wait a little bit and it's going to actually call the lead. So what this is going to do, this is an automatic call. This is not a manual call. It's going to call you to your business phone number. And it's going to, when you answer it, it's going to give you this whisper message that is customizable. New lead call from Luke's Auto Detailing. Press any key to connect. Now I know that this is a brand new client for me. And you can put, new lead call from a web form submission. So you know exactly where they're coming from if you want to. Now, if they don't answer, what it's going to do is when you've pressed that key, it's going to connect you with the client. It's going to start dialing out to that client for you. And this will get triggered automatically. And why this is powerful is I've actually built this into the missed call workflow as well. So, and I'll show you that in a second too. But let's say they don't answer that call. Your client, they're busy. They don't answer. Now we're going to go in and we're going to automatically drop a voicemail to that client. You can go in and, record a voicemail that you want to just custom personalized and upload it right into there. It'll look like you tried to call the client and they didn't answer and they got a voicemail from you. These are really, really powerful. This is all happening automatically and you don't need to do a thing. If you try to, it actually won't let you leave a voicemail, which you can turn on and off with this option here. But it won't let you. So if that client doesn't pick up, the system will say, lead did not answer the phone and it'll disconnect. So, and then it's going to drop that voicemail to them.
I like it.
Let me give you some insight onto that missed call workflow because it's probably my favorite one. So this is the missed call workflow and we got some conditional logic in here, which Detailers CRM does have. It has if else functionality inside of the workflow builder. So if an incoming call comes in and it's either, we miss it, we're busy, we're on the phone already, or we don't, goes to voicemail for us, it's going to trigger this to happen. We're going to add a missed call tag to them. We're going to wait a little bit, assign them to a specific user if we want to. And then it's going to look to see if they're an existing client. It's going to look and see if they have that booked lead, hot lead, new lead, or newsletter tag. Or the detailing client. It should be in here too. But anyways, that way, if an existing client calls you and, just someone has a question or something, they're not going through the missed call workflow over and over and over again. You only want new clients coming through this. Now, let's say they are an existing client. It'll send them a custom SMS. Hey, sorry, we just missed your call. We'll call you back. Hope you've been well. Feel free to text us if that's easier for you. If they're not an existing client and they're a new one, it's going to send them an SMS. We're sorry we missed your call. A team member will respond as soon as we can. For expedited service, please feel free to text us on how we can help you or fill out our quote request form online at our website. It's going to wait 5 minutes and then it's going to call that person back automatically. So,
is there logic built in that this only happens? Like if someone calls you at 9 o'clock at night, that this doesn't kick on? Is there any logic built in there?
Yep, and that would be over here in the settings. So we can set a time window for this workflow to run. You can set it for any time, but a specific time too. So I have this one set for Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 7:30. That way, if someone calls you at 9 o'clock at night for whatever reason, it's not, just kicking them off into a sales funnel. Now it will do this, but it'll do it at 7:30 in the morning.
You guys calling us at 11:30 at night, midnight, 1 o'clock. Like, I don't know who they think's going to answer them, but we're not Bank of America, but they call us.
I remember I used to get messages super late too. It was so frustrating.
So this will, if a call comes in at 11, this sequence will then kick off at 7:30 in the morning.
Yep, right at 7:30, boom, it's going to start again.
I like it.
And that's cool. That way, if you do get messages in the middle of the night, you're not just ignoring those people, but you're going to respond to them first thing in the morning before maybe you're even awake, which in a lot of cases for me, it was before I was awake. So, but the really powerful thing is with this missed call workflow is that it's going to call you automatically. You missed the call, maybe you're busy, but we have another chance to try to get on the phone with this person. It's going to call you, you press that key, and now we're going right out to the lead. Now it's going to wait 12 hours, which is essentially a day at this point. You're in the next day now. And then we're going to do that same call again. We're going to try to get in touch with that person again. We're going to wait. If they don't answer, it's going to send them an SMS. Hey, are you still, interested in professional car care? Let us know if you're still interested. If they don't reply, the next day, we're going to add them to another workflow, which is a stale lead retargeting workflow. And now the stale lead retargeting workflow is one where we're pulling in leads from all different types of sources. Maybe a person was in touch with you for a couple weeks, just giving you objection after objection after objection. And then, they'll get put into a workflow like that to kind of help nurture them back into being a, booking client with you.
Got it.
Do you have any questions kind of so far on any of this stuff?
No, I love all the workflows. My only question was on the left-hand side below opportunities, there's payments. Is this a payment processor as well, or at least a gateway for people?
It is.
Okay.
Yep. So we hook right into Stripe, which is going to have the lowest fees compared to Square, essentially. But this is where we're actually going to go in and you can add your different products, your different services, your packages and all that. And you can take payment directly through here in Stripe. You can send payment invoices to your customers, payment links. The functionality of Detailer CRM is everything works together. So we can use, the Stripe information in our workflows if we want. We can use the appointment information in our workflows if you want. It's kind of how you want to build things out and what you want to do for your business. So, but yes, this does take payments, and we do integrate as well with PayPal if you need to do that. So,
is there any integration currently or something on the horizon to integrate to like a dispatching functionality?
Not right now. You mean dispatching like mobile units?
Yeah, like to schedule out jobs for the guys.
I've thought about doing that functionality. I think that's going to be something I'm working at towards the future. But for now, what I was really focusing on was the automation of sales communications. But I have been really wanting to do some type of dispatching automation, especially for the guys that do have mobile units going out every day, multiple, and you want to make sure they're going to the right places, maybe, essentially mapping out the least travel distance and stuff like that.
Yep.
Let me go in and show you here now the sites
with Zapier that you could link these with link Detailer CRM with one of the dispatching softwares, reservation softwares that you'd mentioned earlier. Ones that come to mind for me, but kind of for my junk removal guys would be something like Jobber or Working or something like that. But I would imagine with Zapier, you'd be able to pull across data back and forth between the two platforms, I would think.
Yep. Detailer CRM does hook right into Zapier. So we can go in and tie and throw data between, if you want to do Jobber, for instance, we pull in a customer through Detailer CRM and we want to book them through Jobber. As soon as they're ready to do that, we can definitely do that with Zapier. Absolutely.
Nice.
Now before I actually show you the funnel builder, let me show you the integrations we have, just because I know that might be a future question. So other than Zapier, we also hook in with Google, and this is where we're going to pull in all your Google My Business information. We have Facebook, Instagram, QuickBooks for the Stripe payment functionality. If you have a Clio account, we hook in with that. Shopify, TikTok, even. So that's pretty cool. Now let me take you to the funnel builder, and this is again a really, really huge thing for detailers, especially ones that are running ads. So for the guys that are running ads, you can go in and build custom landing pages. And these are extremely, extremely powerful, because sending a client to your website is good. But if you can send them to an optimized landing page, where there's no distractions, where maybe we're putting a web form up in here, we can go and just try to funnel people directly and get an appointment, submit a form, and that'll help really, really capitalize on your conversion rate for the ads that you're doing. Now,
You don't need to tell me that. That's I have that battle with retailers all the time. They're like, please, let's sign to my website. I'm like, please, let's get you the lowest cost per lead and the highest volume of leads as possible. So please let's do a landing page. It's part of the system. So yeah, you don't need to sell me on that one.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing I love about Detailers CRM is we can go in and build these. It's drag and drop, super easy. Anyone can figure it out. There's pre-built templates inside of here for your business, so that you can, if in case you don't want to go start from scratch and try to work with the design editor, you do have templates you can work with. So this is what it looks like if someone goes over here to get an appointment. It's going to take them to that form where we're putting in their information. This is actually a payment form. So this would actually, maybe you want to get in a deposit down as well. So that's pretty cool. And again, there's no distractions. We're funneling them right into booking an appointment. So this is really powerful. And when I started leveraging these funnel pages for my ads, they were converting at a much, much higher rate. And the ads started doing very, very well for producing leads. So let me take you, one more thing is inside the reputation area. So this is where it's going to pull in your reviews from Facebook. It's going to pull in your reviews from Google My Business. And it's really, really cool. We're going to be able to see, how many reviews are we getting? What's the overall sentiment from, the last 6 months? We can go in and change that. What's our average rating? What's our review trends? And we can go and send review requests too. So let's say you want to go out and send a review request to myself. I can go ahead and just send review invite. I have this disabled inside of here, but we can go and enable that when we get your account set up. Reporting. So we do also hook right into Google and Facebook ads to pull in all of the reporting. It should load in some dummy information, which it looks like it has, because I don't have that set up. But this is about what it would look like. So we're going to pull in all your Facebook and Google ads information here to be able to get that on one really nice dashboard. And again, trying to keep everything inside of one hub. We have an attribution reporting area where we're going to see where our customers really coming from. Call reporting, where are we answering and missing calls? Where are they coming from most of the time? What's our average call duration? We can see some of the latest ones here. And then we have an appointment report as well. Where are we booking? Who's no showing? Who's canceling? What channels are they booking through? What sales channels are we getting most bookings through? And then we can actually see just an appointment list down here as well. So the general consensus of Detailer CRM that we're really focusing on is, one, we want to help you generate more leads on what you're already doing. You need to have the foundation, and that's where someone like you comes in, is we need to get these guys the foundation of a kick-ass website, going hard on Google My Business, posting every day, posting photos every day, getting reviews. It's very, very, very important. Optimizing your Facebook and Instagram, using those together. Once you have the foundation and you're starting to actually produce traffic, then we want to capture those leads. So generating is step one, capturing them is step two, and capturing them is the most time-consuming process. It's going to take almost all of your day when you get to a certain point in your business. If you want to keep growing just beyond and you can get to 6 figures detailing solo. You want to do it out of your garage and just do it by yourself. And you can 100% do that. And this type of software will make it easy for you. But if you want to grow and you want to get employees and a system going, it's going to become an absolute hassle to keep up with people and to be following up. Otherwise, you get so busy talking to the new people coming in that you end up not following up with your existing database. And that's the third step, the major thing that Detailer CRM is going to do, and that's a database reactivation. And I can't tell you how big of an issue that is in our industry, where a lot of businesses are always depending on new business coming in. And when
Yeah.
times get tough, like right now, the cost per leads are going up and advertising in general is getting more expensive. Um, the price of everything's going up. We need to make sure we're really, really, really capitalizing on people that we've already paid for their business. And all we need to do is keep reaching out to them. You're not being annoying by sending them a monthly email and a couple text messages over the course of 90 days, 120 days. So let me take you into that follow-up workflow just to show you real quick what that will look like. And this is the one workflow that created literally thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for me every month, was just this one simple workflow. And it was that database reactivation. So we can just see the way that works is we're sending them a 24-hour email, a 30-day email with a 30-day SMS, waiting, 60-day SMS, waiting. And I'll take you what one of these looks like. Hey, it's been 30 days since you've had your car detailed. We offer big discounts for return appointments to promote maintaining your vehicle. Rather than letting it get super dirty again, when can we schedule your next detail? And again, we can go in here and add functionality so that they can go click a link and just boom, book with us right now if you want to do that. So that's
And there's you would put logic in there if they did the booking, then it would stop that sequence, correct?
Correct. Yep. Then you would want to add them. Maybe you stop the workflow, or maybe you want to add them to something else.
Got it.
Yeah. The conditional logic is extremely, extremely powerful when it's.
Let me ask you a question. So let's say they did book, so then it stops. Mm-hmm. Does it then automatically then trigger it again in 30 days for it to start the sequence again?
You can. So you could go in and control that. So let's say you want it to.
Yeah.
You could go in and turn this on, allow multiple. So this will make it so that people can keep coming in. Now, let's say you don't want them to go back through that funnel. Maybe you want to have them go through a different one, and you don't want them to keep sending them the same text messages, because there was customers who ended up not booking a maintenance plan with me, but they would come back every 30 to 60 days and just get their car done for a discount. And I wouldn't want to be sending them the same exact follow-up messages every time. Otherwise, they're going to start to be like, okay, I'm definitely obviously being sold to with the system here, which is not a big deal. But, I didn't like that. So I would turn this off and, send them elsewhere to a different funnel. But you can also do stop on response. And this is a hard, let's say you don't want to do conditional logic inside of a workflow, and you want that workflow to cut. As soon as they respond to anything, you can just toggle that on. It'll automatically do that for you.
Got it. Okay. I like that. So I would just want to build in some sort of logic so that it kind of puts repeat customers into one bucket. So we treat them differently because they're the alphas that we want to definitely cater to. Is there something a way to sort and say, okay, this guy's booked a couple times with me, and then have functionality built in based on that? Because we know the payment information, we know they're paying multiple times. We have the scheduling stuff in there. So I'd imagine there's some sort of funnel that could be built to repeat purchasers, our alpha customers. Is that correct?
Absolutely. What you could do theoretically is go in and create a workflow for, like you said, let's call them a maintenance or a recurring customer. You could tag them as soon as they've hit a threshold of, let's say maybe they went through your maintenance retargeting funnel like this, and they keep booking with you. You're going to go, you know what? This person's going to keep coming back regularly. Let me add a tag to them saying, recurring client or alpha client.
Got it.
And then we can throw them into a workflow that's going to send them maybe 100 text messages over the course of the next 5 years of just different sales texts. Now, that's a lot to build out, but that's an example of what you could do. But you could absolutely control, every client. Where do you want them going? How do you want to categorize them? And what do you want to happen to that client once you've categorized them? So the reason I don't have workflows already built out specifically around the appointment system is because I didn't use it until I built it out. I didn't build it out until after I sold my business. So I always used Able. Personally, I used Able on my business, and I still love it. I still recommend Able to people because it is just such a professional looking booking system. It is awesome. But if you want to keep everything in one place and you want to use the functionality of Detailer CRM booking system is still awesome, and you can do some incredibly powerful things with the workflows in conjunction with it.
Got it. Very cool.
Yes, sir. And I think that's the general gist of it. There's some other things, like one other really cool thing I can go over is just social planner. This is really, really powerful. So you can tie in your Facebook, Instagram, Google, LinkedIn, Twitter, and TikTok all in one place, and you can go in and create posts and then schedule them to get blasted out to all of your different accounts whenever you want. So I would go in and maybe on a Sunday or a Saturday, just go set up 5 posts for the week, create them, and then it'll blast them out to all these different platforms for you on whatever schedule you set. And now you don't have to go and make 35. I think that's the math, 35 different posts throughout the week. It's going to do it boom, automatically for you.
I like it. So if someone's watched this long, I'm assuming they're liking what they're seeing. How do they sign up for something like this?
Yep. If you want to sign up for Detailer CRM, you can go to our website here, detailercrm.com, and just go ahead and you can start a free trial, or you can book a demo with us. If you go over to the pricing page here, you can choose a package directly if you're interested and you want to buy it right now. You want to get on the program. You just go and sign up here. But if you want to get in contact with us and you want to book a demo, you want to get some more information, you can do that here by going to the contact page. And I'll give you these links too when we get off the call.
Okay.
That way you can put them in the YouTube description or whatever you want to end up doing there. But what I'd recommend is anyone who has any questions about Detailer CRM, just book a demo with me. I would love to help anyone out, help you get integrated into the software. Half of it is obviously learning how to use it and leveraging it, but that's why I'm here. I've been using the platform for 2 years now. And I've built it myself, so I know how to use it, and I can help anyone. If you want to build custom things inside of here, and maybe you have your ideas spinning off in your head already, I can help you execute those. Just book a strategy session with me, and I'd be more than happy to go over that and get things set up for, the initial client. So one cool thing I am doing, and I'm getting a page set up to do this. I'm still building it right now. But for the first 25 clients that sign up for Detailer CRM with us, we're going to be offering a 14-day free trial of the software. No contracts or nothing like that. If you don't like it after 14 days, you're good to go. If you like it, we're going to give you the professional plan, that $197 a month plan for $97 a month for life. Now we are going to be coming out with another plan that's going to be $297 a month. That's going to have some additional features that we haven't released yet. And when that plan comes out, you're going to get full access to that plan again for your standard $97 a month. And that's again for the first 25 clients only. We're trying to just get the ball rolling here and get this off the ground and get people using it. What I really need more than anything is testimonials, case studies to try to get people to use this and show how awesome it is. So I'm pretty confident once I get some guys using this, they're going to be like, holy shit, this is crazy stuff. So
awesome. I love it. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Luke. I'm going to stop the recording now. Just hang on one sec. All right.
Awesome. Thank you.